Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Welcome back. So, today we are supposed to start discussion of monopolistically competitive market. More specifically, as we already have mentioned multiple times earlier, that the same producer, okay, under the ceteris paribus condition or taking his cost structure are same if he could face a competitive product market or the market where he is going to sell his product, okay, if that market is perfectly competitive, what will be his optimum output decision? Alternatively, if the same producer given his cost structure, if he goes for a market or goes to deliver his product in a market which is monopoly kind, so what will be his optimum product decision? So, both these two cases we have discussed. Today, we are discussing that if that same producer goes to a market with his product where the market structure is monopolistically competitive, okay. So, that we will discuss what will be his optimum output decision, okay, or more specifically how much quantity of output he should produce, so that he can be able to maximize his profit. Profit maximization is the sole objective, okay, we are assuming, okay. So, before that let us discuss one thing in the monopoly kind of market, whatever we have discussed, that just one extension, it is there also in your book, that is called price discrimination. Price discrimination in a monopoly market, price discrimination, okay. So, we have shown in using the diagram, suppose this side we are measuring quantity, that side we are measuring all the revenues, costs, price, everything, right. So, we have shown that if a monopoly, suppose this is his average total cost curve, okay. Suppose say if it is a short run case, suppose this is average variable cost curve and this is his MC curve, marginal cost curve, and suppose this is the demand curve, average revenue, that is what is the demand curve, that is the average revenue line, because that is the price line, and we told that price is identical to average revenue in any market, okay, whatever is the price, that is the average revenue. So, this is the average revenue curve, and given that kind of straight line, if we assume that average revenue curve or demand curve downward straight line, we will have similar straight line marginal revenue curve with having the same vertical intercept, right, and slope is the double of that AR line or demand curve, that we have proved in the class, right. So, we know that at this point MR equals to MC is satisfied and slope of the MR curve is less than slope of the MC curve. So, both first order and second order conditions are satisfied at that point. So, that producer will produce this much of output, okay, to maximize his profit, and he will set this much of price per unit of his output or per unit quantity of his output to sell his product, okay, in the monopoly market, because this is the demand curve he is facing. So, he is in a monopoly market, right, and we have shown that if he follow monopoly producer kind of thing, markup pricing behavior, he will produce this much quantity of output and he will set this much price per unit of output, right. Alternatively, if he follow competitive behavior, okay, or competitive behavior is basically, so monopoly behavior, he is setting price equals to MC, okay. So, we have shown that yesterday we have shown MR equals to MC, profit maximizing condition, MR we have shown price whole into 1 minus 1 upon absolute E, that thing equals to MC. So, monopoly will set its price equals to MC by this entire component. So, MC with the markup factor 1 by 1 minus 1 upon elasticity, absolute elasticity, okay, this thing entirely. Okay, this kind of price you will set. Okay, and vis-a-vis if he follows, this is the monopoly, this is the monopoly price situation, monopoly. Alternatively, if he follows competitive behavior, he will set price equals to marginal cost. This is basically the competitive behavior, competitive or perfectly competitive behavior. So, if he follows perfectly competitive pricing behavior or something, so he should produce this much of output, because at this point this is the AR is the price line, price equals to MC is here. So, he should produce this much of output and he should sell each quantity of the output at this much of price, and using that we have shown that this kind of thing, no, this kind of rectangular kind of area, we are drawing a phrase, the diagram, quantity this side, suppose price, marginal revenue, everything that side, this is the demand curve, okay, this is the MC line, okay, and suppose this is the MR line. Okay. So, we know that this is the competitive equilibrium, competitive equilibrium, competitive equilibrium. Basically, price equals to marginal cost. This is the AR line, and this is the monopoly equilibrium. Where MR equals to MC, okay, and he will say this is the price, we are telling monopoly price. Okay. So, this is the monopoly price. So, if we compare this monopoly price point, say suppose this point, so we are telling E1, this is E. Okay. If we compare E versus E1 points, right. So, E1 point is the competitive equilibrium point and E point is the point where price equals to monopoly price, okay, where price is equals to marginal cost into the markup factor, which is markup factor is greater than 1. Okay. So, if we compare, we can see that this is the, okay, this triangular kind of area is the deadweight loss of the monopolist, deadweight loss which is generated by this monopolist to the society, and since deadweight loss is a net loss to the social welfare. Okay. So, we concluded in the last class or last lecture that this monopoly solution is not a socially desirable solution, right. It is not a desirable solution from the societal point of view, right. Now, the question is it always the case? Look, if the monopoly can do price discrimination. So, today we are discussing price discrimination, right. By price discrimination, what we are referring? By price discrimination, we are referring that the producer, monopolist, he is the price setter, okay, he is price maker in the market because he is the sole tiger. Okay. So, if he set price for, say suppose I am a monopolist, I am selling some product in the market, I am selling my product, same product to you, say maybe rupees 5 per piece of that product, to your friend maybe rupees 7 per piece of that product. Okay. So, what I am doing? I am setting different price to the different customer. Not only that, I can set different price to the two different units to you. When you are purchasing one piece, say suppose that product is pen, one piece pen, the price is say suppose 5 rupees per pen. When you are purchasing 2 piece pen, I am setting price as 7 rupees per pen. Okay. So, Given this example, no, some of you are thinking that, sir, can it be possible in real life? When 1 pen I am purchasing, its price is whatever per pen, when 2 pen is price is more, can it be possible in real life? Yes, that is possible. Okay, let me give you a specific example that is called specifically called second degree price discrimination. Okay, but in your syllabus we will not specifically discuss what is first degree price discrimination, what is second degree price discrimination, what is third degree price discrimination. Whatever is there in your book, that is called perfect price discrimination, perfect price discrimination, perfect price discrimination, that is there in your book and that is within our syllabus. This perfect price discrimination is basically the first degree price discrimination, first degree. Three types of price discriminations are there in economics, first degree in monopoly market, first degree price discrimination, second degree price discrimination and third degree price discrimination. What is there in your book, that is actually the first degree price discrimination, although in your book it is not mentioned that first degree price discrimination, rather it is mentioned in your book that it is perfect price discrimination, I am telling. So, the kind of example what I was giving, no, more units you are purchasing of a product, price per unit is increasing, that kind of price discrimination is there. All of you know, but you perhaps you do not bother to know that much. You can see electricity bill, okay, each of your home, no, there is an electricity bill every month or every once in 2 months like that, or once in 3 months one bill is coming, no. So, see, you perhaps never bothered because your father or somebody is paying that, right, electricity bill. If you see that printed bill backside, right, there pricing strategies, how that electricity distribution company, no, whether your state electricity board or maybe some private company, whatever it is, okay, that distribution company, how they are pricing the electricity consumption at your home. If you see that backside of that bill, it is clarified. So, suppose your consumption per unit, right, so 0 to 75 units, okay, per unit price is say suppose rupees 5 per unit. If consumption lies between say 76 to 150 units, say price is maybe per unit rupees say 6 per unit. More what I am highlighting, as you are consuming more per unit of that product in electricity, what is the unit? I am sure engineering student, no, you must know that kilowatt hour, okay, that is the unit, kilowatt hour. Okay, anyway, that is not the issue here. They used to mention per unit. Okay, so 0 to first say first 50 units or first 75 units, as per different electricity distribution company, that slab may be different. Okay, but this is the pricing strategy. Okay, first few units per unit, that is the price. Next few units, if consumption exceeds 75 units, okay, maybe 76 to next level 150, that is the slab. So price is little bit more. Even it is 150, say 151 to say 200, suppose price is rupees 7.5 per unit, like that. This kind of pricing strategies are there, are followed by different electricity distribution companies. So this is more specifically in economics terms, it is called second degree price discrimination. Okay, so this kind of pricing things are there, second degree price discrimination. Okay, so this is one sort of price discrimination where different units of the product have different price. More specifically, larger and larger units as you are going to consume, you have to pay more and more price per unit of that commodity. This I am talking about at the domestic electricity pricing, right. Industrial electricity pricing may be different kind of thing. This is domestic. I am talking about whatever electricity bill is coming to your home. Okay, that way, that is called second degree price discrimination. Third, so this is basically even a single customer, if you consume within 75 units, okay, then some price. If you consume more than 75 units, but within 150 units, some different price, larger price and so on. Okay. What is the third degree price discrimination? Third degree price discrimination is basically different price to different customer. The kind of example I was telling, I am selling that pen, one piece 5 rupee to you, one piece say 10 rupee to your friend. So, two different customer, two different price. That kind of pricing is called third degree price discrimination, where different, see this third degree price discrimination in real life where it is applicable, like that electricity pricing, the second degree price discrimination, real life I am giving you the example, right, electricity pricing. Similarly, third degree price discrimination, have you ever have seen that? Indian Railway, no, we told that Indian Railway is a perfect example or very good example of a monopolist, right? Okay. So, Indian Railway pricing, no, different seats, okay, one price for me, another different price for maybe one senior citizen or maybe a student, some senior citizen concession, some student concessions are there, no, in Indian Railway, you people, I am sure all of you know, right. So, some different concessions are there for different categories. So, they are categorizing first different group of customers, general customer or regular customer. Look, the same, say maybe AC 3 tier or AC 2 tier, same seat, one berth, I am paying say perhaps 2000 rupees, one senior citizen may be paying perhaps say 1500 rupees, one student may be paying 1200 rupees, something like that, right, little bit concession is there, right. So, same service, same everything. See, one AC 2 tiers berth and one AC 3 tier berth prices are different. Those are not the price discrimination, those are basically the comfort level attached to it, those two berths are different. AC 3 tier, one coach relatively more people are there, AC 2 tier, one coach relatively less people are there. So, you are enjoying little bit more comfort, more less congestion inside the coach, right. So, the different price for one berth in AC 3 tier and another berth in AC 2 tier, that is not price discrimination. Price discrimination even within the same berth AC 3 tier, what I am paying, what you are paying, those two prices are different, okay, where comfort level is same, that is price discrimination, okay. So, that is called third degree price discrimination, where two different prices are there for two different person, two different customers, okay. And the price discrimination what is there in your book, that is called perfect price discrimination, and more specifically that is first degree price discrimination, where both these kinds of discriminations are allowed, means different price for different people, also for a single person, different units, different prices, okay. So, if that kind of price discrimination the monopolist follow, right, what will happen, look at here. In a simple diagram we can show, say this side the quantity and suppose this is the demand curve, okay. So, we are measuring price, average revenue, marginal revenue, everything that side, marginal cost, okay. And suppose this is the demand curve, so average revenue line, this is the marginal revenue line, and suppose this is the marginal cost line, okay. So, I am the producer, I am the monopolist in that market. Ideally, I should not be able to see what is the demand curve, because this demand curve is generated by whom? The potential customers, what is their willingness to pay for this commodity what I am selling, right? They should know, okay. That is the private information to them, that is not known to me. But if we assume that somehow I know that, then I can follow perfect price discrimination. How? Look here. So, if I follow in this particular case, suppose this is the marginal cost line, this we have taken a peculiar kind of example where the marginal cost is same, constant marginal cost kind of example, like where we can say that natural monopoly we have discussed, right, natural monopoly, okay. So, initial for the establishment of the production base initially, like that water supply, telephone distribution or electricity distribution and all, huge amount of infrastructure, initial infrastructural expenditure is required. But once your infrastructural expenditure is done, your setup is done, ready, right. So, suppose five households are there in the locality, right, one more household came. So, to give the water connection to that additional household, no, your expenditure is very less, negligible expenditure is there, just additional pipeline will be there from that main line to that household, that connection, right. So, whatever that cost you are incurring additionally, marginal cost, if another household comes, exactly same sort of marginal cost you will face, perhaps the same distance of additional pipeline you have to fix there, okay. So, you can think of certain cases are there in real life where marginal cost almost same, okay, fixed, okay. So, usually you said marginal cost curve we used to face, but certain specific kind of cases are there where marginal cost is fixed, okay. So, same every additional unit same amount of cost will be. So, that kind of suppose one marginal cost curve we are taking this way. Okay, we are taking this horizontal line to make you understand better that is why. But usual case, no, you say marginal cost also that kind of curve we can take here and we can show the exactly the same thing, this first degree price discrimination or perfect price discrimination, by that what we are referring. It is okay. So, of course, if that producer follows the profit maximizing behavior or competitive behavior, right, he should produce this much of output and he should set this much price per unit of output, right, to sell his product in them, right. And if he follows alternatively competitive behavior, he should produce until this, okay, and this is the, in that case this will be the price, because price equals to marginal cost. This is the price line and this is the marginal cost line, here is price equals to marginal cost, right, competitive behavior. Look, and by comparing these two equilibrium, we told that this is the deadweight loss generated by that monopolist if he follow monopoly pricing behavior, right. Now, that monopolist can think of that, can I grab this deadweight loss, because in any case this deadweight loss is a loss to the society, right. So, what I can do, if I can follow the perfect price discrimination, where I will set different price to the different customers, not only that, different price to different units to the same customer also. Suppose who is the highest valuation customer, right, in this market, the person or customer who has the maximum valuation of this product, for this product, right. Suppose this is the highest valuation because demand curve is starting from there. Suppose that customer is demanding this much of commodity. So, first unit, very first unit he is paying this much, very high, okay, maybe next unit little bit less, and so on, next unit little bit less, and for every unit whatever is his maximum willingness to pay, monopoly is charging exactly that same price, okay, because we are assuming that somehow suppose monopoly know what is the demand curve, that means I know that what is the maximum willingness to pay by different customers, right. So, as a result, say suppose within this segment of that product, right, the monopoly is actually setting different price as per the different willingness to pay by that single customer, okay. So, all the consumer surplus, whatever that consumer can enjoy by paying this price or that price, whatever it is, entirely grabbed by the monopolist by setting price equals to the exactly maximum willingness to pay by that customer, and that is true for every unit. So, if you look at from customer's point of view, that customer's point of view, the pricing in between that thing, that segment of the consumption, whatever he is consuming, he is paying different price for the different units. So, it is basically one sort of second degree price discrimination, because different units different price. Not only that, suppose second customer is standing in between these. So, he is consuming this red colored this segment, right, okay. So, this second customer within his consumption, no, different units, one unit this is the price, another unit this is the price, and so on. Not only he is facing also the second degree kind of price kind of thing by the monopolist, because different units for different units different price. The price whatever second customer is paying and price whatever first customer is paying, those are also different, okay. So, that is why this perfect price discrimination, it is a combination of both second degree and third degree price discrimination that we are coming. But what is the message is here, because monopolists know what is the maximum willingness to pay by every customer, or even within a single customer for different units of the same product, right, he is setting price accordingly for every unit, okay. And as a result, if that is the case, monopoly will not definitely stop until after this production, he will not stop, because for this unit, right, he will set this price, for this unit he will set this price, for this unit he will set this price. Look, whatever unit he is going to set, right, whatever price he is setting, all the price is above his marginal cost. So, he will be happy to set that price if he is allowed to set that kind of different price. Actually, in this price discrimination may not be allowed by the government regulation and all, okay, in different markets or in different society. But if it is allowed by the government regulation and monopoly knows the what is the demand curve or what is the willingness to pay situation by different customers, he will be happy to charge different prices to different customers, okay, or more specifically he will be happy to follow price discrimination, okay. And look at here, when he is charging this much price, right, what guarantees that that associated customer will purchase that product at that price? Because he is not charging anything above the maximum willingness to pay. So, I will always, that customer will always pay, right. My maximum willingness to pay for that pen is say 12 rupee, right, and I have been charged 12 rupee only. So, I will consume that, because exactly whatever I am paying 12 rupees, my valuation also is that. So, I will participate in the market, right. If its valuation is charged more than that or price is charged more than that, I will not purchase, but it is charging exactly that way. So, what is happening in that way, whatever will be. So, if let me take a new diagram, okay. Suppose this is the price line or demand curve, this is the MC line, right. If monopoly follow the single price things, okay, and monopoly is forced to follow the competitive pricing. So, this is the price equals to marginal cost line, right. So, this price, at this price he has to sell each of his product, because he is forced to follow competitive pricing, right. So, this entire area could be the consumer surplus, right. Now, what is happening, this entire area which could be consumer surplus, that is appropriated by the monopolist as the producer surplus, because this price is charging to one customer, this price is charging to the another customer, and so on. So, which could be consumer surplus, that is becoming producer surplus. A total surplus of the society is not changing at all, okay. So, as a result, when instead of this is average revenue curve or demand curve, this is marginal revenue curve, this is the marginal cost curve. If he follows monopoly behavior, he should produce this much and this will be the price per unit of the product. If he follows competitive behavior, this much he should produce and this should be the price per unit, right. So, by comparing those two, we told that this could be, this yellow color shaded area could be the deadweight loss, right, societal loss. But if that monopolist is allowed to follow price discrimination, this will be the production will not be shortened up to this level, rather production will be until the competitive level, and entire which could be the deadweight loss, that will be also appropriated by the monopolist as the producer surplus. So, entire consumer surplus what could be under the competitive solution, that will be grabbed by the monopolist as the producer surplus, but total surplus will not be reduced, or which is known as deadweight loss, which could be reduced if monopoly follow monopoly behavior and not follow the socially desirable competitive behavior. Competitive behavior is the socially desirable outcome, and monopoly outcome, this is the monopoly's profit maximization, because that outcome is coming because of his profit maximization motive, right, and that is why deadweight loss may come or may be generated within the society. So, one remarkable result we are reaching, what is that? If monopoly is allowed to follow monopoly behavior, he will generate some deadweight loss. If he is allowed to follow, he is forced to follow competitive behavior, competitive pricing behavior, there will not be any deadweight loss, but monopoly's profit may not be maximum, will not be maximized, okay. If monopoly is allowed to follow monopoly behavior, but with price discrimination is allowed, monopoly will be happy to produce the competitive amount of output, okay, and he will set different price to the different customers, even within same customer different price of the different units of the product, and as a result, so what could be the deadweight loss under monopoly solution, that deadweight loss will no longer be there, and there will not be any curtailment. So, when he follows competitive behavior, he will produce this much. If he follows monopoly behavior, he will produce this much. So, under monopoly behavior, total quantity of output which will be produced within the society, that will be curtailed, right, vis-a-vis the competitive behavior. But if he follows monopoly behavior with perfect price discrimination is allowed, total production in the society will not be shortened at all, will not be curtailed at all, same amount of output will be produced, and as a result there will not be any deadwood loss in the society, there will not be, so there will not be any welfare loss to the society. So, although monopoly may be able or may generate, a monopoly is not a socially desirable outcome, a monopoly producer can be able to produce socially desirable outcome provided that he or she is allowed to follow perfect price discrimination. Okay. Let us stop here. So, this is the price discrimination. Okay. Let us stop here. In our next lecture, we will discuss monopolistically competitive market. Okay.